Hello my friends, Ken Mercer here. Today I'm going to show you the process I go through to clean up and change the strings on my acoustic guitar. For this you're going to need a clean cloth, a pair of cutters, a toothbrush with soft bristles, a string winder. That's optional, you don't really need it except to lift up the pegs, because it has this like little groove on it which sort of gets the pegs up. I'll show you how that works in a minute if you're not familiar with that. You need some guitar polish and some strings. I use these Martin strings. They come in a 3-pack, and these are pretty good. Good price and good quality. So, and a tuning fork to tune up afterwards. So what I start doing is I take my string winder and just gently loosen the strings. Okay, so once you've loosened the tension on all of the strings, you'll need to lift up these little pegs here. Let me just change this camera angle so you can see a little bit. Hang on. Let's bring this across. There we go. And I just get my string winder underneath here and I just lift these out, these little pegs, and put them safe because we don't want to lose them. Now that the strings are off, I inspect the guitar for any damage or anything that's loose that might need to be repaired. Check the fingerboard, check the bridge area, the body of your guitar, make sure it's all, as it should be. Make sure your guitar straps, the guitar strap holders, make sure that they're tight. So the last thing you want is for that to give during a gig and have your guitar come crashing down on the floor and breaking. Apart from being tragic to lose your guitar like that, to damage your guitar like that, it would be very embarrassing and awkward. Okay, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take my my soft toothbrush and I'm just going to gently, very gently, just brush out some of the dirt that gets caught up here at the edge of the frets. There are places where your cloth just won't reach, so you want to just make sure you get all that out. On an acoustic guitar, I treat the neck very differently to an electric guitar. This is a Rosewood, so if I own a Rosewood Stratocaster and a Maple Stratocaster. I did a video deliberately using the maple one, and on the maple neck I use the guitar polish, but on the Rosewood I don't use this at all. What I actually use on the neck is a little bit of lemon oil later on. But first I need to get hang on, let me grab another cloth here. I'll grab a cloth just to get rid of all of the crap I can get off of the fretboard just by scrubbing it. Once you've scrubbed the neck and you've got rid of most of the dirt, then I always apply a little bit of lemon oil. Not too much. You've got to be very sparing with this. You don't want to soak the wood, because if you get it too wet you're going to start getting like problems, like you get little humps in the wood or something, and it'll start to warp. So just want a tiny bit on a cloth, just a little bit. Okay, and then we're just going to run it all the way across like this. So you can just see that the surface is a little bit damp and shiny. And then just give it a good polish and dry it up a little bit. You want the wood to soak it up, but not too much. The reason we use the lemon oil is because rosewood can dry up and crack, so you need to keep it a little bit moist, not too much though. And also, on some guitars you have a bridge, also with rosewood. I just give it out a little wipe as well with a bit of lemon oil. Okay, and it gives it a nice nice little shine to it. It looks nice and clean, and it feels nice to play on as well. It's nice and slippery now. Okay, so the rest of the guitar, we use a guitar polish. Just give a little spray. Just watch your electronics. You don't want to spray the electrics. If you've got, as I have on this one, I've got the Fishman prefix on there, and I don't want to get any of that wet. So now I just take my cloth and just polish up the guitar, get rid of all the dust and any dirt marks, fingerprints or anything that might be on there. It's very satisfying when you see a guitar you've been using for, you know, a couple of weeks and it's starting to look a little bit dusty and dirty. And it's nice to see it getting clean again. So there we have a nice shiny, clean guitar ready to put new strings on. So what I do, I just put the strings back and then put the peg down on top, bring the string up and put it inside the tuning peg, pull it tight so the string's tight all the way down to the bridge. Then I get my cutters and I cut on this particular guitar. This is a Taylor. I cut sort of like at the peg above, the one I'm about one peg of distance above the one I'm actually inserting the string into. So that gives me enough string to wind around the tuning peg, but not too much that I'm going to be turning that thing for half an hour and getting too much string on the spool. So I just tighten it up. I'm not tightening it so it creates tension on the neck yet. I'm just bringing it just tight so it's not flapping about, and it's seated nicely on the tuning peg. And like I mentioned in my electric guitar video, you want to make sure, I don't know if you can see that well there, but you want to make sure that the string coils up at the base of the tuning spool and not over the top. If you're using a string winder, on some guitars, when you put them over the tuning pegs, they actually can touch the wood of the guitar, and when you're turning, you're going to end up scratching or damaging the wood. Okay, so now my strings are all on. I want to start increasing the tension gradually. I start with the outside strings first, just give them a couple of turns, and then I go with the A and the B string, and then I work with the D and the G string. So I gradually increase the tension evenly across the neck. Alright, so my guitar's all clean now, and it's tuned up, and it's ready to make music again.